Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night to you, friends. Hello, hello, hello. We are connecting to multiple streaming platforms, not the least of which is, of course, Twitch.tv. I really need to make an updated graphic for this slide that includes Nemo, Trovo, not D-Live. We're not doing D-Live anymore for some reason. We're back on TikTok Live. Yeehaw! Hello, TikTok audience. Oh, speaking of which, that's one of those things where I gotta bust open a different page to make sure it's all on live yet. Hello, hello, TikTok friends. I see people are coming in. So, where else are we? Oh, I just misspelled hello. We're also on YouTube Live and Facebook Live on my Facebook page, Gaming Mr. Zeppo. And of course, Twitch. So greetings to you from whatever platform you are tuning in from. I will eventually, one of these days, update that graphics slide. Please do stand by. This live stream will begin shortly. It'll be just one more moment and I'll be prepared. Welcome, welcome, welcome. C-Tag Studios, the content creation studio that exists entirely in my mind, proudly presents the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo's almost daily variety gaming live stream show Extravaganza. Welcome to the pregame chat lounge session. First stream of the day, we're gonna kick it and lounge around and chit-chat about some stuff in the gaming industry and about whatever else is floating around in this noggin of mine. The pregame chat lounge session also includes a sub-segment or a special feature called the Almost Daily Login, where we kind of tease out many of the games that are on the playlist for this live stream show that we do not have enough time to log into to play every single day, but we're trying to log into on an almost daily basis. Of course, I've already completely failed that this weekend. Broke my ongoing streak for this month. And I was fine with it. I did so because I had an over-the-weekend visit from my sibling, one of two, and yeah, we just made more of an effort to do other things than to deal with it, and I was fine. It's always good to take some time off and decompress from whatever you're hyper-focused on, and my content creation project of many projects is indeed something that I hyper-fixate on. Let me show you that link. That's right, folks. If you're curious what we're doing here, what I'm doing here, and why I'm doing it, give yourself a self-guided tour through the Zeppoverse and the many variations of the almost daily projects of many projects. Okay, stuff to chat about. What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone tuning in had a lovely weekend and a lovely start to the week. I'm realizing it is Wednesday. So I've been away for a hot minute. Hello? Brain farting. Wow, the text is still way too huge on this chat box. I'm gonna have to do something about this. That's one of those preset chat boxes. It's supposed to look cool in the built-in setup. But one thing they don't tell you when you get into live streaming is just how long it takes to do one of these things. Whether you're doing it from scratch by hand, or using some of the prefab templates available on the many sources that you can pull from. It still takes a hot minute to get it to work and to look good. It isn't 100% ready to go live when you first install it, and that's so much fun. But if you ever wonder why I haven't changed it up in a hot minute, it's because now with the additional, I'm used to the horizontal for the standard things, but now that we're trying to take advantage of TikTok, we got the vertical layout, so that's twice the work. Takes twice as long. Anyways, friends, hello. So stuff and things going on. A pin on the corkboard moment, which is a gimmick in all of my content. My fictional character in the book series uses it, and I use it on my podcast, and I use it here on the live stream. I think it's intuitive, like just put a pin on the corkboard for things we were trying to remember, and then remember them later on. It's a mental exercise. But I kicked off my day today before going live, making a response video on TikTok. I've also uploaded it to my Facebook page, Gaming Mr. Zeppo. So if you're already there or you're inclined to go there instead of TikTok, you can go check it out there. If you're already on TikTok, just come on by. It's the newest video after the 3 pinned videos at the top. A dear friend of mine, and I don't want to recreate the whole video here, but let me summarize real quick and then add some extenuating circumstantial thought. That's a made-up term. Let me just add some additional thinking. A dear friend of mine expressed I don't know if it's a concern or a curiosity, an observation, and a personal preference, which I totally respect, and I responded to it. The question and my response has everything to do with what's at the center of my project of many projects, which is an idea about writing a book series in which, as crazy as it sounds, a video industry mogul consumes the entire military-industrial complex and changes war from a real-life contest of who can unalive more people the worst to an esports competition in order to resolve international conflicts in a meaningful and legally binding way. I don't know why, but that's a central theme in the book universe, the literary fictional universe that I'm trying to create. I wanted to add an additional thought. Something I didn't say in the video, which I think is worth pointing out here for anybody who's going to go watch the video. Know in advance that I literally struggled and continue to wrestle with this dichotomy. The apparent clash of interests that my friend points out. My friend asks, how can you play war games? You're so spiritual and high vibrational. And that's a big compliment coming from this friend, who is someone I look up to and admire, both in regards to a postmodern adaptive spirituality, one that's dealing with the world around us as it is, as opposed to demanding adherence to some predefined ideological construct, and also content creation. Like, I really admire what my friend does. As I said in the video, my friend is a very, very talented graphic artist who can draw like nobody's business and make some really epic, awesome, engaging art. Often in a D&D sort of fan fiction avenue. I think she's a professional. I don't think she can be dismissed as a fan fiction artist because if I'm not mistaken, she's a published artist in the world of fantasy, action, adventure, tabletop gaming. I don't know all the details, but she's an inspiration to me regardless, because I always sort of wanted to draw and I feel I'm one of those people that fights myself because I feel like I can't draw. But to come back to the actual point, like I really do have and do struggle with the apparent conflict regarding the potential for glorifying, either on purpose or inadvertently, meaningless violence, and the objectives and or goals that I'm trying to achieve by engaging in esports video gaming content, whilst also, and to many people's perspective, counterintuitively folding in my public discourse, socio-political critique of the world we live in. But it all, in my mind, is resolved in the Zeppoverse universe because there's a place where the socio-political ideological critique meets the fun of esports video gaming. At least I think there's room for a story that threads those needles and asks these very questions. The question or the comment my friend made is actually really apropos, very appropriate, and is something that I'm going to take some inspiration from and try to work into the content that I'm ever so slowly generating for the book series. And one of the things about my live stream show is that I've been overemphasizing the video game playing and have not yet worked in and incorporated and sort of bootstrapped up to a higher level of focus the content creation. I keep teasing it, but the book writing part is like a missing puzzle piece to the live stream flow, which I'm slowly working on more thoroughly integrating. But hopefully, slowly but surely, it'll all start to make sense. So anyways, yeah, here we are, friends. Welcome to the pre-game chat lounge session. We're going to play some games as part of this stream, or we're going to at least log into the games that are on my almost daily login list and maybe dip our toes in. But that's the gimmick for this particular session. And then for the rest of the day, I'm going to focus on the games that are currently in like the, I don't know what you call it, the main, that are currently the main events, the headliners for the live streaming. So, and there's way too many things going on in the world and way too many things going on in the gaming industry in and of itself for me to be as thorough as I would love to be on a daily basis. And I'm not a professional journalist, right? There's no one funding me or handing me a script. So whether you're reading my books or listening to my podcast, which I humbly invite you to do because that's the most efficiently monetized of the projects, if you want to support me as a content creator, but you are not in a position to donate directly, please do give my podcast and it's a podcast of many podcasts, so it may be a bit of a chaotic experience, but dive in and give a few episodes a listen, and please forgive the fact that there will be ads, but that's, it's monetized, and that will hopefully help fund the other projects. All right, enough self-promotion. Let's talk about some stuff. So check out my video because my friend's comment truly just pings the very, just cuts to the very heart of what I'm aspiring to do. And I'm not entirely certain that I'm doing it the best. I'm sort of inventing a creative workflow process for myself. And one of my toxic traits, I guess, to borrow the popular slang of the day, is that I'm a hyper collaborator by talent, by given gifted talent and training. So I'm meant to be collaborating with others, and I'm doing all of this entirely by myself. And one of the facets, one of the hopes and dreams is that by continuing to grind along, I might actually appeal to members of the audience that get the idea, get the vision, also aspire to be collaborative artists on a multi-platformy, multi-dimensional, multimedia kind of way, and want to participate in what I jokingly call the content creation studio that only exists in my mind, CTAG Studios. Right, things to talk about. What else is going on? So video games. Let's touch on a theme here. For those of you who do not know, I am absolutely, adamantly anti-real world war. I am against solving problems through violence. So plenty of people might be confused or disoriented by that juxtaposition, because I'm totally going to play Call of Duty. Call of Duty Mobile, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Warzone, and a bunch of other Call of Duty titles that I've picked up along the way, because that's a game franchise I always thought was really interesting and challenging for its technical esports. I don't have a word there, but for what it is, right? I consider it a kind of esports skill / talent. And I'm not pretending to be amazing at the game. I have my good matches, I have my bad matches, I have my good days and my bad days, but it's a game franchise that I felt I missed out on over the last 20 years. So here I am trying to maximize both my personal enjoyment of finally being able to play it as a gamer, and also my metaphysical ambition to find and attract members of that gaming community and share with them some of my transcendental, spiritual, socio-political commentary that sort of intersects gaming and what's going on in our world, right? Because of all the reasons. For those of you who are longtime followers, you'll know that I occasionally make the political point whilst introducing or while exiting out of a stream that gaming is not a crime, and should not be excused as such, or should not be used as a permission structure for any kind of criminal activity. But I also, while saying that, I also realize that for someone enduring the wrong set of circumstances, and I don't mean to be judgmental, but rather someone in the unfortunate set of circumstances that might lead them to come to incorrect conclusions vis-a-vis an overexposure to fictional fantasy in-game gun violence. Like, we need to address that as a community, in my humble opinion, as difficult or challenging as that might be, right? Like, one thing is to be great at any sort of tactical esports first-person shooter game from whatever franchise, and another thing is to go, I'm going to go do that in the real world because that'll solve my problems. It does not. If there's one hard line I've come to conclude that I don't think anything will ever change my mind about, is that violence as a solution is implicitly false. Like, it's a lie. If anyone is telling you that violence will solve a problem, real, imaginary, or otherwise, they're bullshitting you. It won't. It might end, yes, self-defense is a different category of activity, and yes, sometimes, unfortunately, under dire circumstances, it is necessary. But that's different than war profiteering and warmongering. Put some pins on the corkboard there, friends, as I obviously What I mean by that is I've discussed this in other areas of content creation. If you want to get into the public discourse part of it, I humbly encourage you to go to solo.to/Mr. Zeppo, listen to my podcast, and find my personal Facebook page, which is separate from my gaming Mr. Zeppo Facebook page, and or follow my the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo page. Maybe I have too many pages. But anyways, smash all the like buttons and spam all the comment places, and I'll eventually engage you in public discourse. Trolls and unwarranted hate mongering and any form of false accusations will just be called out as such, mocked and ridiculed, and eventually blocked. But anyone with a sincere and serious interest in genuine public discourse, and for anyone who's not sure what that means, like there's a difference between arguing online and having an open-minded, critically analytical discussion about opposing viewpoints in order for both sides to understand each other's perspective better. Now, I'm not an internet noob. For anyone who doesn't know me very well, I've literally have been using the internet on an almost daily basis and having conversations with people of every kind and variety about most of the big pressing issues that we face in our world since before AOL even existed. So one of my tough love dismissal comments when I'm like giggling at what someone's trying to lecture me about is to be like, bro, I've been having conversations like this with people like you since before you were born, unless you were born before 1983. Okay, I'm not a snob. I'm not an internet snob. And I'll be the first to tell you I don't know if I don't know, right? I don't pretend to know things I do not know. But there's a lot that I've observed, and there's a lot that I've discussed, and there's a lot that I've contemplated that is, well, to say, for lack of a better term, really played out on the internet, right? Like conspiracy theory content. To pin on the corkboard, but to put a quick line out there, I was once a card-carrying member, a self-described conspiracy theorist, until I dare to ask questions and critically analyze the content itself. I've discussed this plenty of times, and in fact, I have a very recent TikTok video. Sorry, all the platform names get it like they're in a jumble. So when I want to say one platform, the wrong platforms often come up in the like pulling the vocabulary card. But I have a very recent TikTok video. It might very well be the most recent TikTok video where I address that issue. Please go check that out. For those of you who are boycotting TikTok for the reasons you might be boycotting it, which I respect and admire, I just sort of decided to do a different thing, and that is to engage in the protest on TikTok, or engage in my public discourse and critical analysis of stuff on TikTok. In part because I missed out, and I coulda, shoulda, woulda been on there forever ago, and I might have already built a much broader audience. But I digress. Speaking of TikTok, let me go check in on that, make sure there's no one missing out on chat. Dear TikTok chat, if you drop anything in chat, I'll be super slow to respond, in part because I've got to go to a different tab away from the Streamlabs desktop, because to the best of my understanding, it may or may not show up in the multi-stream tab of the chat on Streamlabs desktop. So anyways, there's a lot of things that I've thrown out there, and now I'm distracted because I want to turn off the chat bots, and now I've got to turn it off 3 times. It used to be 1 button. Now I've got to turn it off for 3 of the different platforms that we live stream to. Okay, so video games. To cap off my thoughts on the issue as my friend presented it. I respect anyone who doesn't want to watch any kind of violence in any kind of media. I know people who won't read books if they're too graphic about their action, adventure, violence, right? I respect that. And I have no interest in judging that or in telling them that they're wrong or whatever. And as an aspiring author, once I get things rolling, I will make a concerted effort to create content that encapsulates the messages I'm trying to convey and respects people who have that boundary and gives them an entree into my world without them having to go through any of the kind of content they don't want to deal with, right? Same if I were ever to be fortunate enough to have the capital investment available to me that I could, start my own movie production company, which is one of the many objectives or goals or dreams that I've had for most of my life. I would make a broad spectrum of content so that people who want to engage with the same themes don't have to deal with any of the graphic violence, right? But as a movie enthusiast who has always challenged myself as a viewer to be open-minded enough to investigate content, even if it is a bit on that edgier side of things, whether it's a horror movie or an action violence thing like John Wick or whatever. And I don't mean to overemphasize John Wick. I'm not technically a fan, although it is fascinating. Like the action there is incredibly well executed. If we're going to analyze it purely at a technical level, and what it takes to create that kind of performance on screen is not easy. But I've always challenged myself to engage with that kind of content whilst also retaining my own, what word am I looking for? My own boundaries about what I understand to be acceptable behavior in the real world. And most of the things that the heroes do in most action adventure movies is borderline immoral. And philosophically speaking, one of the tenets that I've come to understand to be true, not out of any kind of blind faith adherence, but out of the observable phenomena in the real world, is that if you stoop as low as the people you've identified as the quote bad guys, you very, very much run the risk of becoming what they are. In other words, you run the risk of becoming the monsters that you fight. And that's one of the themes that I want to elucidate and explore and discuss, both in my blunt public discourse as well as in my project of many projects. All right, well, there's a ramble introduction to the pre-game chat lounge session. Now, I don't have a large enough audience to fully articulate or do what I want to be doing with this segment, which is, of course, turn it to the audience and be like, what are your thoughts, folks? Let's discuss. But if you're watching this in the not too distant future, you're welcome to bring your comments to any of the platforms where I can respond to them. So if you want to come on by to Gaming Mr. Zeppo on Facebook, please put your comments below this. There it saves as a video you can just see on my feed on my page. There are no comments available if you're going to Twitch to watch it, but I still do love it when people come to my Twitch profile and watch videos after the fact. I deeply appreciate it. So unfortunately, if you're watching a video on the video on demand shelf on Twitch and you want to participate in the conversation, you're going to have to come to one of the other platforms to leave your your comment after the fact. But anyways, please do smash the follow button and consider yourself perpetually invited to drop on by anytime I'm live. And especially during this kind of episode, especially during this particular segment, if we're in the middle of a pre-game chat lounge session, which doesn't quite fit on the thing. Should I edit that? Let's edit that a little bit. Let's see if it'll let me edit that. Can I edit that? Oh no, maybe I can't. Not while it's live. Right now is the free-for-all, right? No one appears to be watching live, at least not on Twitch. Let's see if anybody's watching live on TikTok. Let me flip it over. It indicates that we have 31 viewers, but I don't know if those are concurrent live viewers or it says no online viewers yet, so it's confusing. 31 people have dropped by and then swiped away. Perfectly valid. What can you do? But hopefully, in the not too distant future, especially if we ever actually achieve my multi-platform follower goal of reaching 4,420 followers on either one platform or all of the platforms in aggregate, we'll hopefully have a handful of a large enough audience to be like, let's really mix it up and chat about what's on your mind, not just what I've chosen to ramble about as I prepare to launch the show. So here's to future growth. Huzzah. So yeah, let's transition to the almost daily login portion of this special presentation of the Almost Daily Variety Gaming live stream show. And we're going to kick it off with one of our central games, in part to test whether or not we've got, if currently we've got the same kind of audio lag that I encountered, or we encountered last night. Now, I hadn't really had that kind of audio lag before, and I don't know if it's because I made the live stream that much more complicated. But let me, double check that my audio is turned on and available. I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that I did that while we were playing a game, but I've always got to activate the iPad audio in Streamlabs. Okay, it's active. Let's go over here to the raw feed so we can enjoy the fullness. Sorry if the way I stream to TikTok Live forces you to constantly change the orientation of your device. But and if it sucks too much that you don't want me to do it anymore, I can set up a different loadout for stuff. Anyways, here we go. Ooh, we're going to do... Hold on. I forgot that I just installed this. So, yes, I was totally watching the first episode. Now, it's going to go over here. I was just watching the first episode. Why did Star Wars uninstall itself? Is it because I'm running out of room? I was just watching the first episode of the new season of House of the Dragon. Is it House of the Dragon or House of Dragons? I would have gone with House of Dragons, plural, but I think it's actually House of the Dragons. But anyway, stay tuned for a not too distant future episode of the Almost Daily Variety Gaming live stream show presents a first impression gaming review of GOT Conquest, which looks like a fun empire building, Game of Thrones themed mobile game, which may or may not be way too time consuming to get into and play regular, but we'll see. We'll find out. But so there's a series of games both on my iPad and on my Xbox that feature an almost daily login mechanic of some kind, which is, obviously negligible. It also features a lot of promotional stuff. Oh, this is one of my favorite music tracks in Call of Duty. This one right here that's playing right now. But anyways, I like to try to knock these out on a daily basis. Hold on a second. We gotta send some other friends some XP cards. We're gonna go every other person on the list to mix it up. Oh, that messes up the rotation, but whatever. Let's go a little lower. Oh, I've already done. I've already sent enough. That's what's going on there. If you play Call of Duty Mobile, please do feel free to send me a friend request. Here is my profile. It's Mr. Zeppo. You need the in-game ID number, which you might need. And by the way, for anyone who's tried to send me a friend request but could not find me, we do have to be, I think, on connected servers or on the same server for it to work. And if I'm not mistaken, I play on the North American server. So like, if you're on a server on the other side of the planet, we might not be able to connect. And the server system is really varied. It's really easy to forget that there are servers in Call of Duty Mobile, so you might want to double check all of that. I just also, one of the things I do with the daily login is clear out the little exclamation points because they drive me nuts. When there's a bunch of exclamation points everywhere, like, I know, like, get rid of these alerts. So that is a completely, like, nonsensical aspect of it. Hawkeye, Hawk's Eye, what is this game? Sniper only. I sort of want to play that hardpoint elimination. In ranked or normal, hardpoint. We're probably going to play that next. Isolated Blackout is part of the thing. By the way, shout out to all the members of Squad Teamwork. It is a multi-game, in-game guild or club or whatever you want to call it. I don't like the term clan. It's a bit of a loaded term. But what else? It's what the industry uses most of the time. It is so relaxing, groovy, that we've got a lot of inactive members. Sometimes I've got to clear the lists to make room for others. But please do come on by. It's for gamers who want to play the game and help each other get better at the game and play without any of the toxic nonsense. We're all here to be relaxed and groovy people and enjoy the game. So apparently I'm all up to date with the current set of... Oh, that's right, because I logged in late last night. So the next round of making sure that I log in has to happen after 5 p.m. because this game resets its day at 5 p.m. All right, we are going to play one match, and it's going to be hardpoint. We're going to try to force a hardpoint match. This might take forever, but it's one of the nodes. Then we're going to mix it up. This is why it's a variety live stream, and I'm presenting this particular episode as a podcast because I'm just teasing the games that I'm going to do further, longer, more in-depth focus streams in which the game is the only thing we're going to do. So if you've never seen Call of Duty Mobile, this is what it looks like. It's a lot of fun. I do genuinely play with just 2 thumbs. I can't do the claw method. I don't get it. And I don't have controllers or anything else. It's just me, my iPad, and my 2 thumbs, folks. And I've been neglecting Battle Royale, which I'm technically better at in Call of Duty Mobile. And I've just achieved Grandmaster 5 in multiplayer. I need to balance out my investment on Battle Royale. But here we go. Also, shout out to people who are dropping in and bailing without saying hi. No worries, no judgment. But please do drop a hello. Don't be shy. All right, we're gonna put it on. Here we go. We're gonna go. Oh, I forgot to vote for a thing. We do one match, and then we're gonna rotate on out to other games. One of the gimmicks I'm trying to promote is mostly on Twitch, because the little voting box is not available on other platforms. But if you come on down to my Twitch profile, there is a suggestion box. The pre-match fighting is always annoying to me because it doesn't actually contribute. Here we go. I'll explain the gimmick of voting for games in a hot minute. It's especially for Twitch viewers who are already watching on Twitch. Come on down.
Hardpoint identified.
Target.
Come on, throw the thing.
Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Oh, brutal.
Hardpoint lost. Hardpoint is ours.
敵と交戦する。ヘッドショット。マガジンを変える。
They're gonna come out this way now.
Hardpoint contested.
Ah, brutal. Okay, the audio isn't as laggy as it felt yesterday.
Hardpoint identified.
New target.
Capture the objective. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is ours. We've taken the lead. Hunter killer drone on standby. Friendly hunter killer drone deployed.
Oh, brutal. I knew someone was coming, but I didn't
Hunter killer drone deployed.
go to the right place. Didn't go in the right direction. I love this machine, yo. I don't know if it's meta or not in terms of what is meta in mobile, but
Hardpoint contested.
somebody's busy
Hardpoint
with...
lost.
Ah, brutal.
Identified. Capture the objective.
Finishing one.
Capture the objective. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Okay, here we go.
Hardpoint locked down.
Oh, I didn't get them!
UAV online.
I was trying to use... I really wasted that.
Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint. Care package inbound. Contested. Hardpoint identified. Enemy XS-1 Goliath incoming. Enemy
Time for a new
XS-1 Goliath
location.
is landing. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Oh, brutal! I totally had the opportunity to get them. I did
Contested.
not managed it correctly.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
I cannot... Ah! Oh, shit! That, I totally did not throw that grenade in the right place at all. That was brutal. Oof! Oh, look at that thing. Those things are brutal.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Capture the objective.
New hardpoint. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. They're about to come at us. Over here. Oh, Shiza! That thing is huge.
Contested. Destroy enemy's XS-1 Goliath. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint contested. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
敵と交戦する
Hardpoint locked down. Predator missile on standby. Hostile sentry gun in your go.
Oh, brutal. Need an EMP to shut that down. Boom! Victory, though. Huzzah!
Enemy contact.
What? You're like not aiming at the. I do like that gold grinder. That's a great little loadout. I haven't used it in a long time.
Nice
All right,
work.
team.
Well done.
That was a nice win, a little mini match session right there. Let's get on out of this game and move on to the next. Oh, by the way, everybody always gets the blue thumbs from me. I am a weirdo. Be advised now. I am very much a weirdo. You know, with a heart of gold. And, you know, flaws like any other human being. Any other creature of existence. All right, friends. So that's a little daily login action on Call of Duty Mobile. We will, of course, be back to do a full session. Other games. So many other games that we need to do a login. The next one is probably the most tedious, but also the one that I'm most like trying to be more consistent on. In terms of logging in every day, because I really love this MMO and I never quite make enough time to play it, but it's awesome. And we're going to switch on over to the Xbox. I'm going to go ahead and switch headsets so that at least playing, well, it's not critical here because we're not going to do anything tactical in the game, but we're talking about Elder Scrolls Online, which has a couple of different levels of daily login reward action. Not the least of which is for us crafting nerds, the little crafting ingredient emails that we get from our imaginary crafting employees. We never actually meet them as characters. That'd be pretty cool if they actually showed up and we had to like talk to them. But I guess that would have been a whole nother order of things. Speaking of, if you are an Elder Scrolls Online Xbox player, don't forget to pick up the recently added Elder Scrolls Online perk. You should be able to see it on both screens. It's a thank you for the 10th anniversary for players, and I think it has one of. Let's see what it says. Instead of trying to guess at it, I've already redeemed it. What does it have? Does it say here? It does not say here. I've already redeemed it. No, I know I already have it. Anyways, I was trying to see if it would tell us what it has. And suddenly, all of my sinuses are on fire. Like I'm going to have a massive allergy reaction to something, and I don't know what. So you'll excuse me. I'm going to go onto the Xbox Raw feed so that I can fidget on my face and blow my nose and all that, and y'all don't have to watch it. Okay, so MMOs is where I spent the vast majority of my gaming life during the period that I was not playing games like Call of Duty because of reasons. Mostly having to do with the fact that I never quite could afford a robust enough PC. Still there. A dream come true would be for either a collective series of donations or some kind of angel investor donator to come by and be like, here's enough money to buy yourself 3 Alienware machines. That'd be so dope. For all the reasons you can imagine that I would want more than one PC to A, play video games, and B, live stream content from multiple devices using a dedicated, robust PC so that it is arriving at your screen with the most beautiful and the most fluid of all the possible experiences. Anyways, till that happens, we're gonna have to work with what we've got. Which I don't mean to minimize. I really am beyond appreciative of the devices and the technology that I have at my disposal. Okay. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Elder Scrolls Online is the MMO version of Skyrim, essentially, or of that universe. And it's just released. I believe it is now currently available for purchase. Its most recent chapter of expansion. It's got new maps and I think there's going to be new character archetypes or new classes or whatever you want to call them. I haven't been following all of the detailed hype because I knew I was not going to buy this. Here we go. Here's some Gold Road chapter expansion. The Forgotten Day-Reared Princess has returned, bringing chaos to the West Realm. Explore a new zone and defend the city of Skingrad, first encountered in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Now beset by dangerous Tyrannic cult and the encroaching wilds of Valenwood. Customize your skills like never before with the new scribing system and create your own one-of-a-kind playstyle. Registration. This chapter is not enabled on your account. If you purchase this chapter at retail, select enter code to register the code you received at your retail packaging. If you wish to upgrade to this chapter, select upgrade now. I'm gonna wait until this expansion is on sale because I'm a frugal mofo. And I'm not quite ready to blow all of that kind of money on stuff, especially for a game that we are very curious to see. Oh no, that's going to open the mic first right now. Okay, so I won't be having access to any of that stuff anytime soon. That's okay, especially for now, because all we're doing is logging into our characters and doing a little bit of daily login nonsense. Mostly focused on receiving those crafting widgets and of course getting our daily rewards right here. Whoa, this is my controller with stick drift. I'm not... Here's the thing. We go into social, we go to mail, and we got our materials from our little friend. Oh, whoa! They updated this. Now I don't have to delete the email. I have not read each one of the messages comes with a little bit of flavor text. I haven't read any of them in a long time, so maybe we'll read them. I just already got rid of a bunch of them. I am curious if there's going to be a bunch of new stuff that specifically is about the expansion. There probably will. I came across an odd sight in the wilderness today. A circle of stones stood in an otherwise empty clearing, and strange runes were inscribed on the ground. It was eerily silent in the clearing, but also surprisingly peaceful. Plucky refused to approach the circle, but I decided to sit within it and take a short rest. Thank you for the blacksmithing materials. So they have a name, each of these little imaginary assistants. We never meet them in the game, as far as I know. Maybe someday in the future we will. Raw clothier materials. You may wonder why I'm so diligent with the frequency and quantity of my deliveries at such an agreeable rate. Though this is certainly a service I provide, word of our association has provided multiple business opportunities for me. In a way, your reputation is funding my shipments, your shipments. A gift from the ESO team to help you continue your adventures in Tamriel. That's from 2 months ago. This is new, apparently. We are sending you this gift to help you continue your adventures in Tamriel. Thanks for playing Elder Scrolls Online. Ah, this is the perk from the Xbox platform being delivered to us as an email. So taking attachments. Boop. Okay, and then these are old emails from when I first bought the digital content collector's edition that from the previous release. So when Neocrom, or however you're supposed to pronounce it, Necrom, whatever, when the last expansion pack released, I bought the collector's edition to get all the things. And then almost immediately they announced the upcoming announcement that this new expansion is coming. Hold, take all. No, we're not going to take all. System. I wonder if that means includes the other characters. Okay, I also have been hoarding. See, look, this is the daily reward system, of which now I've lost out on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. My goal this month was totally to try and get through the whole month and not miss any days. But also, totally wanted, needed, and appreciated zero engagement with video gaming over this weekend when my sibling came by to visit. This is a Ike. Oh, those are crown gems, damn it. Not crown coins. I wish I had enough crown coins to buy that skin, but I know I'm not gonna. So there's always something on sale. Oh, look at this. We got, I always check this, because you never know when the free bits are gonna show up. And there's a free thing. A pyrodraconic camel lizard. I always like some of the flavor text. It's so quirky. Of course it's not a real dragon. That's besides the point. Intense hue recoloration, brimstone expectoration, and a fusion of wood elf and Telvanni magical techniques. Tell a fairy the contract is fulfilled and more. So I think this is a mount? It's a mount! See, like, people often ask on social media, how do I get free stuff? Log in every day and check the store. And pay attention to announcements, because they'll tell you when it's coming. And so all the free stuff I've ever gotten from the game is because I paid attention. Now this one I don't qualify for because Inheritor of the Scholarium achievement, which I have no idea. Now see, the DLC, which we bought for cash money, Necrom, is now available here, but I've already got it. And the cool thing about DLC and expansion bits is if you buy them whilst you are a subscriber to ESO Plus, A, you'll get interesting deals and discounts and whatever. And also, what is this? Stitchwell Stick Noir. This mount doesn't increase your movement speed. Riding lessons don't affect its appearance. The mount cannot path when placed as a furnishing. Interesting. What a weird... It's a weird... The soul-shriven knights ride only the mostly fine-stitched steeds. As one old knight proclaimed, don't mind a bit of fray at the bottom of there. Or pesky splinters sticking out of handle. This squad is a jolly smooth ride. We've already got the statue. This is some sort of pretend mount. This is the real mount. We'll actually be able to load it up in the game. The other thing that happens is that occasionally, at different times during the course of the month or the quarter, they kind of do a quarterly cycle, I've noticed. Some of these bundles and or individual DLC packs will either be available free or on severe discount. See, like Imperial City is free. I think it's been free forever. Morrowind free. Anyways, the last time I bought a full bundle, which I don't remember which one it is, it's one of the ones that's marked purchased, it immediately went on sale like a week or two later. So now I totally obsessive compulsively look for stuff. Like, this is a location that you can only access if you've bought this bundle, Clockwork City. Now, I'm nowhere near ready to even engage with any of this stuff. Oh, by the way, for those of you curious, these are all... You don't really need to load any of these. Oh, what is this? Adrian called the... Oh, this is the Infinite Archive quest from the end of the last cycle, which is, I think, serves as a transition, and is the thing that I haven't done to qualify for that other thing that we saw that was in the thing, and that was free. Anyways, you don't technically need to install these or pick them from the store, but they do sort of give you the quest starter prompt in a more easy to find way. You can also trigger the quests by wandering around in the world and finding the quest giver. The Necrom Deluxe Pack includes all the bonus content of Necrom Deluxe Edition as well as the Necrom pre-purchased digital items, but doesn't include these other things. I don't think I need to get that because I have all those stuff. I'm just surprised it's not registered as already purchased. You don't need to buy them because I already have those. What is this? The Warden? Oh yeah. Those are really cool classes. Collector's packs. These are new. Digital Imperial Edition. Oh yes, this is one of the earliest things that I aspire to get because it unlocks the Imperial class, which by all accounts is the best class to make a master craftsperson out of, because they get the Imperial style automatically, and otherwise you'd have to either spend a lot of stuff in game or money to get for your other characters. I have been debating getting one of these pack animals, but also I don't really need it. I'm just checking to make sure there isn't any other cool things that are free right now, because they've just done a whole bunch of updates. Oh man, I wish this was a free house. The boats? I don't know how this works. I don't know if it's like a static boat that lets you teleport to many places as a boat taking you there, or what. Or if it literally is maneuverable in some sort of oceanic playable space. But I'm deadly curious. But it is way too expensive. I'm gonna have to save up for a couple of quarters. My subscription to ESO Plus renews quarterly. Some people get it monthly. The Maryvine Estate, that's cute. So they recently, less than a month ago, gave everybody who logged in during a certain window one of the biggest free houses ever. And that's what I mean, like, people who always ask, how do you get these cool things? How do I get cool things? Pay attention. That's the easiest way to describe it. Like, go to the official ESO website, subscribe to the email newsletter, and check it occasionally, and log in every day. Because if you log in every day, you're gonna find out what the free reward things are, even if you're not gonna play it. I don't know there's any current... I heard something about a new free house, but I don't know where it is, or I don't know if it's a login reward. And I don't know that the, I may also be, my brain is maybe hung up on... Sorry, I have the hiccups and the burps at the same time. My brain might be hung up on... Look at that. That one looks epic. I think I visited that once and it's just crazy. But they recently gave anyone and everyone that logged into the game during a particular 4 or 5 day window a completely free house just for logging in. And now we can all go check it out. And we can all go hang out there. And I forget what it's called, but it's super cool and it's big, and you know, you could totally put a bunch of furnishings in it. So this quarter, I think I usually get like 4,000, almost 5,000 crown coins every time I resubscribe to ESO. And the reason I keep ESO Plus and subscribe to it is because crafting is one of my things, and I don't know what that motif Shardborn is. That might be a a new class involved with this new update. So that might be a whole new thing that we gotta get later. But the single most amazing thing that they give you with the ESO subscription is a infinity-sized bag for crafting materials. So you don't have to... Anybody who's a serious crafter knows that you harvest and hoard everything, so that you don't have to go looking for it when you want to make stuff. And they make it possible to not just harvest and hoard, but keep it all in a bag and not in the bank. Then, like, in the bank or in your boxes, you got to keep adding stuff to the bank of the boxes. But you've got an infinity crafting bag. There was a cute little outfit recently that I was thinking about getting, and it's gone. Anyways. All of the dyes look the same to me, so I don't get it. Like, all of these color palettes seem way too much the same, and I wish they had something that was my colors. 27 days left. Let's see if we can get this thing done. What's the requirement? Requires the Inheritor of the Scholarian Achievement. Well, we're gonna have to put a pin on the corkboard about that and look up that achievement and see how to get it. But we've got 27 days to maybe try and knock it out. Even though we like, seriously underplay this game. I got the new thingamoo. We're gonna always click random so that we randomly get all of our mounts every time we ever call for a mount. What is this? Why is there another crown crates? Oh, did we just get a bunch of crown crates?
Greetings, my good friend.
I have 3. Let's open one for fun.
When Bakruti was young, he often ran in circles trying to catch his own tail. Then he decided it was much easier to catch his friends' tails. Bakruti had fewer friends after that.
Oh, you silly lion, whatever you are. Puma person?
Ah.
Feline person?
A suitable reward.
Apparently I already had that, so I've got new gems instead. I'll take it.
Superlative.
Alright, we got some crafting tech motifs. The other day I totally wasted some crafting motif stones because I was an idiot and I forgot to switch it over to the default setting, and I had what I needed, but I used a bunch of the motifs. And I was.
Goodbye, my friend.
Especially since, like, crafting is one of my gimmicks. Okay, so we're gonna go with, like, the streamlined version. There's tiers to this, the way I do it. This is just the bare minimum daily login for the crafting materials. On other days, we'll also add the cavalcade of ponies, where I'll go and get my training on my mount training by visiting the recent... So this one I haven't finished unlocking all of the special characters to send them stuff. So she only gets 1, which is sad. But that's because I need to grind her up a bit and get her to unlock points for those things. For anyone wondering, you're like, what are those? What are you talking about? In your skills, in the crafting section, in passive crafting skills, and always in a different order compared to each class, which doesn't make sense to me. I would make this skill the first passive skill always, instead of sometimes like hiding it below other skills, or not hiding it, but burying it so it's harder to get to because you gotta unlock other ones first. Is this thing so that the little characters send you stuff. I forget what they're called. We can go look at one of them. That's cute. I didn't read it out loud, I'm sorry. In part because I can already feel that I've done everything backwards and I'm trashing my voice. So I'm gonna kind of try to level that out. I'm a trained stage performer. And I still often fail myself in terms of using my performance instrument correctly. And I'm drinking coffee, which dehydrates the shit out of everything. Hello friends, anybody who's dropping by who's wondering what is going on? This is a talk show about the games that have an almost daily login mechanic, and it's an excuse for me to stream because I'd been doing this before and not streaming it. Like, I would start my day and be like, all right, I need to log into these games because they have a login mechanic. And then it takes X amount of time, up to an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, depending on which games I decide to log into and depending on how many tiers of the activities. Oh, the third tier to the almost daily login ESO edition. Okay, so there's the basic crafting material gathering thing that we're doing right now. Then there's the training my mount skills level, which I might add tomorrow, right? We'll go to visit the trainer and add another level to one of the many levels. The 3 components of your mount skills. And then the third tier, when I'm feeling extra, like I'm bad about not playing, is to do this. This character is apparently already here. But to run through and do the daily crafting writs, which any crafter in the game knows, I'm sure, all about. It's kind of neat. It's a tiny little adjustment, but it's kind of neat that they added that I don't have to physically press another set of buttons to delete the email I just found things about. But that means I also have to be more careful because I don't want to delete these other old school doodles. I digress. So this week, because I haven't played in forever, I really have not actually played ESO in forever. This week I'm going to try to work in at least one prime time. I don't know what to call it yet. I've got to come up with a name for. This is the game we're going to spend the most hours on today. But for those of you who are wondering, my stream is specifically about chaotic variety. So that's why this particular show is not being delivered under the category for any of the games that we're logging into. But when I do ESO for a session, let's say I decide I'm going to play ESO tomorrow afternoon, right? I'm going to play it for at least 4 hours. So I'm going to do 2-hour sessions because I need a break every 2.5 hours, or else I get a little feisty and or a little delirious. And then those will obviously be streaming with the correct labeling, okay? Just so everybody is curious. All right, let me try and monitor the multi-stream. Hey, I see we actually have some chat. I've got a chat from YouTube. It says all of this would be reality and what our consciousness processes and perceive that reality in which our awakening has not been revealed to be true yet. Oh, bring in the transcendental commentary. Please forgive me for not noticing your comment until just now. Streamlabs Desktop, for whatever reason, used to have a completely integrated chat panel so that any chat from any platform that you were multi-streaming to would show up in the same pane. Now it's all broken up and I gotta like tab back and forth and or visit another page, which is really annoying. It's probably because the other platforms wanted to do something to keep things separate. So JS, I'm trying to unpack your comment. I understand you're going with the transcendental theme, talking about consciousness and perception. Those are some of my favorite subjects to talk about. But your wording is a little unclear to me, and I'm not judging. English is my second language, and I realize that a lot of people on the internet, English is not their first language either. And even if it is, sometimes we speak differently and write differently for all the different reasons we might. And so it's, I want to ask for clarity. We're going to put a pause on all the other things. Let's go over here. Let's see if did your chat show up in the chat thing? No, it didn't. I'm going to copy paste your chat if I can. Let me see if it'll let me do that. It might not. This is an experiment. Let me see if it'll let me recopy your chat. So I can, will it? Yeah. So this is apparently coming to us from a viewer on YouTube, and if you're no longer there, I'm so sorry. Also, I'm sorry, that doesn't look good. I need to fix that, and I don't know how. I already tinkered with settings, and it didn't do it. Anyways, you wrote, all of this is would-be reality. Okay, I feel like there might be a typo there, maybe, that's making it sound unclear. All of what... I'm going to see if I can reconstruct what we're trying to communicate. All of this is would-be reality, and what our consciousness processes and perceived that reality in which our awakening has not been revealed to be true yet. Like, I think I get what you're saying, but also I'm not sure that I get what you're saying. Let me try and unpack this, and please, if you are still with us over there on YouTube, jump back in and try to help me unpack it. All that is reality is indeed, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many others, although this is not commonly accepted in terms of popular discourse or popular cultural norms, but reality is a emergent phenomenon. In other words, as some philosophers throughout history have pointed out, it is really difficult for any individual to actually prove the reality that they are perceiving, because perception alters reality. Now, this makes me think of a really cool quote from a guru that goes by the name of Moji, or Muji. I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't remember if it's 2 O's or 1. But M-O-J-I? I'm probably not spelling that correctly. But, and I don't know if he's, like, been exposed as having a bunch of red flags or whatever. For some reason, that tends to happen to people who gather a very strong spiritual following, and then it turns out that they're also hypocrites. And it happens in every practice, in every tradition, in every religion, in every tribe. But I digress. He said some really powerful things, so if he is under, like, if he is problematic or has problematic aspects to him, I apologize. I'm not trying to endorse that part of that person. But I've made a meme. Somewhere on my Instagram, there's a meme that I made many moons ago, directly quoting him, because he's referencing something that St. Francis of Assisi said, I think. It might have been a different saint. He's not Catholic. If I'm not mistaken, he is... I don't know what he is. He might be Hindu, and or Buddhist, and or non-denominationally, just generically spiritual. But he's considered a kind of guru by those who study under him. But in an interview at some point, he said, what was it that St. Francis said? That's how he opens his quote, if I'm not mistaken. Now I wish I had it in front of me, because I feel like I'm going to butcher the quote. But to try and recapture the thought with its most important points, I've been disconnected. We are simultaneously the perceiver, the lens of perception, and the object being perceived. Like, that's the catch-22 of reality, right? So I think you're trying to say something along those lines. Please feel free to elaborate and or correct me if I'm not hitting it right. You might have been referencing something that I was talking about. But yes, our consciousness, which we cannot, scientifically yet fully identify and or pinpoint as to where it originates from, our consciousness is perceiving that which our sensory apparatus, our eyes and ears and nose and skin and everything involved, is receiving data. Like, I was literally just having a conversation in real life with a new acquaintance of mine over coffee recently, and we were converging on this set of themes, and they had made a statement about reality and perception, and I said, indeed, exactly, like, as an example, I'm not literally seeing you. my new friend. I am observing, and this is scientifically true, I'm not making this up. It's not common knowledge, but go explore like the science of perception and you will eventually discover that this is indeed something that is understood by science to be an accurate description of the way our minds and sensory apparatus and perception work. The brain receives input, right? Our sensory systems detect data, light, frequency, vibration, in all the different dimensional ways that they can. And then our brain, our sensor, let's even more complicated than that. There is data in the world, reality, that which we call reality. And it is arguably holographic in nature. Not that it is fake, not that it is a projection of an image, but that it is self-recursive. A lot of people really don't understand the full complexity of the definition of the term holographic. It doesn't mean a computer-generated image that looks like something else exclusively. A hologram on a stage at a Vegas show is holographic, and thus we call it a hologram. But reality itself, as we can detect it, is holographic. So we have to really comprehend the definition of that term, including all of its different subsets, because most, especially technical words, have layers of meaning. Okay, so the reality out there is a giant stew of data. Okay, our sensory instruments receive that raw data in some form of vibrational frequency, light, sound, temperature, tactile response. All of those are those are all modalities of frequency, right? We receive that in our instruments. Those instruments convert that data into electromagnetic biochemical pulses that encode the data into usable information. Then it gets to our brain, and our brain creates a holographic model based on that data, which it also simultaneously uses its own pattern recognition and prediction algorithms to sort of anticipate what might be. So all of those things are happening instantaneously when we are having a conversation with a friend and then we hug them and say goodbye, right? All of those, anything that you do in reality, playing the video game, going for a walk, drinking a glass of water, when it comes to our perception of it, we're not directly seeing those things. Our eyeballs are not windows to a movie screen in the brain, right? Although that's a nice analogy, we're literally recreating and over-anticipating what is happening and what that will feel or sound or look like, and what we are actually perceiving in nearly perfect real-time instantaneous modeling is a model, like a holographic model in the mind. And whilst we can totally, like, science has come to that level of understanding, it's still struggling to say, like, how does that actually work? How does the perceiving part perceive the holographic model that the brain is creating? There's still mystery yet to be explored. Okay, so that was all inspired by what you said, although I don't know if I'm addressing what you're asking or stating correctly. Hopefully you're still there. Feel free to drop more comments in. Let me come over here back to multi-stream to see if you're over there. No, that's me reposting your thing. Anybody else? Okay. One of these days, I hope that Streamlabs will reintegrate the chat so I can monitor any chat that comes in from any platform in real time on one page right here as I'm controlling all the other aspects of the show, so I don't have to like get distracted and have to go something around. One of the reasons I don't stream to Instagram anymore is because while I wish I could, it forces you to open a whole other control page and launch the stream a second time, and then sometimes that button doesn't even work. So it's too much of a headache. Anyways, hello to the most recent members or whoever's dropped by to visit on TikTok, and of course everyone else on all the other platforms. We were just going on a totally super psychedelic tangent inspired by our comment there, by someone's comment. They self-identified as JS, and they apparently were on YouTube. So thank you for that comment. If I failed to address what your point or concern was, please do feel free to add more. And forgive me if it takes a minute for me to get around to responding to it. Okay, but yes, that set of themes is part of what I'm working on in the Zeppoverse, is to find a way to explore through action, adventure, sci-fi, fiction, the mysteries of how perception works and what reality really is, and thus means by which we can change the world and fix the problems that we have created for ourselves. And you know, maybe it's a crazy long shot that my ideas will even make sense in a literary format. But it's an experimental journey, and I humbly invite you all to participate more often by jumping in and asking about it on any live stream event, whether it's a video game or not, and of course tuning in when we're actually going to be doing the writing, which is an aspect of this show I have not fully deployed yet, but I'm working my way up to it. So in my book series, there's going to be characters that like wake up in a world that is ESO Online, right? And then are struggling with that and the differences between it and Skyrim as a fan fiction homage to the franchise. So the reason I have I have Skyrim installed, and although we don't play it very often, that I intend to eventually invest a lot of time in playing it more regularly. Let's go back over here to the Xbox feed so that we don't miss out on any of the... Okay, so Pakroti is one of the characters that writes to us and sends us stuff, and one of the ones whose sense of humor I kind of like. Pakroti, and I think he's one of the feline people. I forget what their class/race is called in the game right now, but I'm a nerd, but I'm not a stats-driven nerd. So I'll be nerding out about something, and other nerds will judge me as insufficiently nerdy enough because I don't know the level of minutia that they are reveling in. But my nerdliness lies elsewhere. Pakroti finally met the Collector, who to Pakroti's astonished eyes looked a lot like Pakroti's cousin, Hadalit. That's because he was Pakroti's cousin, Hadalit. All was forgiven, and there's been a whole drama going on that I've not shared on the show because he keeps writing about this character and the things that happen. We clasped hands, and though Hadit insisted that I pay my debt, there is no debt between family, I told him. We fought in the street until he had all of my coin. Okay. Valinka Stoneheaver brings me the blacksmithing materials. Oh, patron, you should have seen the cultists' faces as I came strolling into their camp with a flock of birds. A leaves potion worked amazingly well, attracting winged creatures of all shapes and sizes. They surrounded me like a cloud of wings and talons, like the fury of Cain herself burst upon them. Now, if I'd only planned my next move. So what I like about that is that there's a lot of subtle and interesting world building details in these little notes that they send us, which of course will later sort of probably pan out in terms of what we discover as we actually venture forth and do some questing. I'm all about discussions about consciousness, perception, awakening, etc. And pin on the corkboard. I didn't even really address the word awakening and some of the complexities of what I think it means and how I think it's being used, often incorrectly, by the spiritual community. But we'll put a pin on the corkboard for that, because I've addressed that multiple times on my podcast. And if you're a motivated fan of the show, you might enjoy going around and digging around through the podcast, finding the titles that implicate, that suggest that I'm going to talk about that sort of stuff, and or finding it randomly, as it is a recurring theme. But awakening is a complex subject, and I'm not going to read every single email. We'll dip into one or two of them every time we do the login, so I'm not going to read every single one. Unless I realize that there's more interconnected narrative going on, which there probably is. No, log out. Come on, fingers, push the buttons in the right order. But awakening and enlightenment, as well as the Matrix, are three terms that I am strongly concerned about in terms of spiritual public discourse. Because there's a lot of postmodern interpretations and or misinterpretations of those terms that are gaining traction and or have been gaining traction in spiritual circles. For the entirety of my critical thinking life, that after, taking my time to question and apply my own understanding and questions and logic to it, I'm concerned might be putting new participants in the discourse at a disadvantage. But I've discussed that a lot on the podcast, on so many episodes. It's a recurring theme, and I'm sure I'll come back to do it again. So we'll just put a little pin right there, and we're going to proceed with our stuff. Especially if our visitor was just like a drive-by commenter and is no longer with us. Shout out to you, though. I appreciate your comment, even if I'm not entirely clear what it is actually saying. But there's a lot to discuss there. My new friend of the show, JS, and you are welcome to come back at any old time to discuss it further. Now, the only time when I ask for an audience's patience is if I'm doing a game stream and it is no longer the opening chat lounge session. Every live stream will have a little bit of, hey, let's chit chat, right? As we wait for people to gather. But once I'm in the middle of a multiplayer Call of Duty match, like, I'm not one of those people that can like read chat and answer multiple questions and stay on target and stay on point or on task in a match. I can't do it. I'm really great at multitasking other things, but not that. Maybe because playing these kinds of games is a skill I'm still new at developing. Never will I ever. Let's back out. Bye, Elder Scrolls. Like, I'm not a Call of Duty pro. I have... here's one of the themes folded into my storytelling. I'm not a Call of Duty pro, but I have an aspiration to aspire to test the ability to see if I can get to a level where I might be considered one, okay? And also, Monster Hunter Mobile. I wanted to like Monster Hunter on the Xbox, and it just wasn't quite there for me, and I don't know why. Worth going back and revisiting. I own a physical copy. This is funny. This is one of those, like, they really love me at that store. I don't own this edition. What is this edition? Iceborne. I own the base game, But they had an extra one of the Iceborne expansion pack tin boxes, so they gave it to me because it was just sitting around and no one wanted it. So like, yay, thanks guys. I have to go back and visit them. I haven't gone to that store in forever. Shout out to all my friends at the local GameStop, and shout out to anybody that works at a GameStop. Your service is deeply appreciated. I mean that seriously, even though there's a bit of a giggle moment there. What the F were we talking about before that? Oh my god, what's on sale? Is Skull and Bones going back on sale? Banishers. That's a game that I kind of wanted to play. The Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Vault Edition is on sale for $75. And while I am a Call of Duty enthusiast, I would be like, you know what? Because they put out a brand new game every year, I don't recommend getting this now unless you want to play it without the Battle Pass systems and just to play it, right? Then yes. And you're not going to get Black Ops 6. But if you're like trying to get into the Call of Duty franchise right now, I'd say just get Black Ops 6 and then pick up other games that you want to play retroactively. Almost all lobbies in Call of Duty franchise games are still active. Others more so than some, but like you can fire up Modern Warfare 1 from 2019 and or the Modern Warfare 2 and 3 remakes from previous years and still find lobbies and play them. The movement's going to be totally different than what's going on in the most recent games, etc., etc. Anyways, I wanted to see how much... Come here, you. This is the controller that's losing it. It's like getting stick drift and stuff. All right. Ooh, this is the premium edition is on sale again. I'm going to tell a buddy of mine who's been thinking about getting this game. How long is it going to be on sale for? It doesn't say. How long? Ends 6/24. All right, I'm going to try to remember that. 6/24. Because I've got a buddy of mine that like wants to play this game. A buddy of mine. An acquaintance out there in the real world of consumerism. Someone that I chit-chat every once in a while because I go to that store that they work at. And they were like, oh, I really wanted to play that game, but I heard bad reviews. And I was like, oh, I knew, me too. And then it was available for a free-to-play period on Xbox. So I installed it just to find out if the reviews were like valid or not. And I was like, I don't think many of them really were actually accurate. In other words, a lot of it was based on the fact that they wanted it to be an Assassin's Creed game, and it's not. It's whatever the F this is. And I didn't have that set of expectations. I just was like, tell me what kind of game you are, Skull and Bones. And I love it. Anybody who's been watching me lately knows that I love it because I've been playing it more than Call of Duty. Anyways, speaking of which, other games that we need to do a almost daily login. Let's just scroll through all the games. Too many games, never enough time to play them in. Call of Duty doesn't always have an almost daily login mechanic, but sometimes randomly they do. Like I'm still sad that I missed out on this past April on a 3-day or 4-day. No, it might have been a 7-day. Like, I just missed it because they started before April 20th, a daily login where you got some cool free shit just for logging in. So, because I haven't logged into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 in a hot second, we're going to log in right now. Black Ops 6. Yes, I'll be upgrading to the Vault Edition. The trailer is out. There's more things. They're featuring the Boys Homelander Operator Bundle. That's cool. Okay. Here are the events. We got 6 days remaining on this critical countdown thing. I am way behind on this. But if we really knuckle down, we might be able to get through all of this. I'm not super motivated because honestly, the FR5 is not a machine I'm super familiar with and not necessarily one of my favorites. But I'm hoping, I'm always into the Fallout Vault Dwellers. Oh, there's gonna be a Fallout crossover, which starts tomorrow. There's probably a new bundle in the store coming soon. That's hilarious. And then this one, we've got 127 days. There's been a lot of confusion because Call of Duty is now officially part of, or is going to be on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass on Xbox, one of the things that they've done is they've restructured their tiers. So apparently, and there are people who've done better videos than this than I will explain it now, but look into it. There's going to be different tiered access to Call of Duty based on your Game Pass tier. If you've got the lowest tier, you're only going to get access to certain aspects of the game. If you got I think there's 3 levels, right? If you're in the mid tier, you're going to get more, and then if you're on Prime or whatever the ultimate, it's full access to the game. You can pre-install it now. You can install the I'm ready for it to drop on day 1 thing, the pre-install bundle. That gives you access to a few rewards, including this classic Woods operator and this unlockable pair of extended skins for the same operator. If you upgrade to the $30 upgrade, that's essentially like buying the Battle Pass now. You'll get the Black Cell edition, plus this tier, the 20 classic 20 tier skips, and the 1000 CP. Apparently the bubblegum thing is back. I never played zombies before Modern Warfare 2, so I don't know what that is, but whatevs. And you're also going to get these Hunter versus Hunted operator packs, which I don't know if it is cross accessible. These might only be available when Black Ops 6 drops. And as far as the beta access is concerned, I think if you're playing with Game Pass, you've got it. So you don't really have to update to the Ultimate Edition. But I digress. Okay, so that's fun to know. All right, so how many? Critical countdown, 6 hours, 6. We got 6 days left. I've already failed. At the beginning of this Battle Pass, I quite foolishly, in hindsight, challenged myself to complete the Battle Pass before the mid-season turnover. Now we've only got 6 days. So less than a week. I mean, it's not impossible. We are at 35% completion though, and I'd have to play this game like 8 hours a day and probably playing more Battle Royale than multiplayer to try and get that goal. I mean, I am going to push to play this more often. In fact, we're going to play one quick little match right now. I curiously don't play ranked, in part because I'm not good enough. I know I'm not good enough. On Call of Duty Mobile, I prefer to almost exclusively play ranked, both multiplayer and Battle Royale. Even though I've just not been playing Battle Royale as much. I don't know why. On the Xbox, for whatever reason, I'm all about regular multiplayer the most. Let's see if there's any new updates. Streakless Rustment, I have not played yet. Season 4 Mosh Pit features the new maps. For those of you who don't know, these are the 2 new maps for Season 4. They're very new, they're very interesting, and there's a lot of annoying nooks and crannies to explore. One in the Chamber is an interesting temporary mode where you start off with one unit of ammo, and you get more ammo by eliminating other enemies. So that's a challenging mode. Small map mosh pit is exactly what it is. War mode, cutthroat, gunfight, and ground war and invasion are modes that for whatever reason this year I have not been playing as much as I played last year during Modern Warfare 2. I think, as a fan of the franchise, I think they should spread out the releases more. Like 2 years would be a little bit less stressful life cycle. But whatever. I'm also capable of indulgently playing this game a lot more than your average casual player. It kind of shocks me how many casual players put up with the year-long cycle, because that's like, okay, now what? Do I not play anymore? Because to play... Anyways, there's a whole... Pin on the corkboard. We can have a whole debate and discussion about how they deploy this franchise. But for right now, I'm going to get focused and play a match of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. And then we're going to bounce on out to check other games that need a almost daily login. Then I'm going to take a little break because greetings lobby. Just saying hello. Ooh, I like me some do. At the game, I have no idea. I don't think we've ever played before together. I'm only mediocre at best, so I apologize. But I've only been playing for 2 years, so lots of people are way better than me. Wow. Okay. Pin on the corkboard about how this is a 17 plus.
Capture and keep hold of the objectives. We've lost Bravo. We control Alpha. We're taking Charlie.
Good job, good job.
Yeah, they're taking fucking round. Charlie secure. We're losing Alpha. We've taken
Pushing
the
to
lead.
A again.
We're taking Bravo.
Took a shot.
Enemies taking Alpha.
Oh, brutal.
We hold all objectives. Let's keep it. We're losing Alpha. We've lost Alpha.
On your six, baby.
Friendly UAV online. Hostile UAV in the area.
Protecting C. Yeah, I'm right here. There's a lot of us here.
Enemies securing Bravo. We control 2 objectives. Objective Bravo is compromised. Get it back.
I gotta heal up. Cover back on full strength.
Enemy UAV active. We're taking Alpha. Objective Alpha. The enemy has captured 2 objectives. Alpha secure. We're losing Charlie.
Fire.
Hostile FAE near your position. Securing objective Bravo.
Good as new.
Friendly UAV on station.
Clearing C.
Enemies taking Alpha. Objective Alpha is compromised. Get it back.
Following. Oh, brutal. He's not ready for that. They're probably pushing to C, so I'm gonna stay at C.
We're taking Bravo.
Probably coming right at us. Oh, here comes the destructor bomb on me.
We control Bravo.
brutal.
Enemy securing Charlie. Hostiles launched a cruise
Efficiency.
missile. We're losing Charlie. The enemy took Charlie.
Yeah.
We're taking Alpha. Enemy's taking Bravo.
Pulling up the rear.
We control Alpha. We've lost Bravo.
Walked right into him.
Securing objective Charlie. Securing objective Bravo. We're losing Alpha. We're taking Charlie. Objective Charlie secure. We've lost Alpha. Objective Bravo secure.
Drop it
Hostile
in.
airstrike near your location.
Ugh. Good job.
Hostile SAE incoming.
I'm taking fucking rounds.
Hostile care package is there.
Fuck.
Nice.
Snap.
Brutal. Yeah.
Frag out. Pulling up the rear.
Nice.
Enemy securing Charlie. Friendly Mosquito deployed.
Frag
We're
out.
losing Charlie.
Minus.
Objective Charlie is compromised. Get it back.
On your 6, baby. Changing man.
Securing objective Charlie. Hostile Guardian has been deployed.
Give me back later.
Enemy UAV active. We're taking Charlie. The enemy holds 2 objectives. Secure those positions. Charlie secure. Hostile counter UAV overhead. Enemy securing Charlie. You're halfway to mission complete. Finish. Securing objective
Pulling up the
Alpha.
rear.
I got beat.
We've secured 2 objectives.
Nice.
Friendly UAV on station.
Oh,
Friendly UAV online.
they're coming in on beat.
Enemy securing Bravo. Hostile FAE. Opposition. We're taking Alpha. We're losing Charlie.
Fuck.
Securing objective Alpha.
Sorry.
The enemy took Charlie. Alpha secure. Friendly Mosquito active. Enemies taking Alpha. Objective Alpha is compromised. Get it back.
Come on, bruv, wrong side!
Hostile UAV in the area. Securing objective Charlie. Objective Charlie secure.
Snap. Changing man. North. Get fire. Multiple threats here. Grenade. Popping a fresh man. On Drop your it in. 6,
Sorry.
baby.
Hostile cruise missile incoming.
Under fire.
Fuck!
Almost had me.
Hostile
Frag
care
out.
package deployed. Enemies taking Bravo. Objective Bravo is compromised. Get it back. We're taking Bravo.
Come here. Give me ammo. Why this box won't give me ammo?
We control Bravo.
I'm at C.
Enemy securing Bravo.
I'm there. I'm at C.
I'm taking fucking round. We're
Got
taking
it.
Alpha.
They're still pushing. I got one of them out, but they got me.
Enemy UAV active. Securing
Deploying
objective
mosquito.
Alpha. We've secured 2 objectives. Our mosquito's out. Enemy supported counter UAV. Enemy's taking Bravo. We've lost
Popping a
Bravo.
fresh mag.
We're losing Charlie.
Frag out.
We're taking Alpha.
Now it's
In
easy.
the area. We control Alpha.
I think I cleared the guys on C. I got him. I got him. Oh, there's more though.
Under
They're
fire.
coming back.
Multiple threats here. I'm taking fire. Frag out.
Securing objective Bravo.
Dang it.
Enemy securing Charlie.
Grenade.
All objectives secure. Keep it up. Objective Charlie is
Let's see.
compromised.
Ah! We were waiting for that.
Taking Charlie.
Damn it. I'm taking fucking rounds.
Ooh.
Enemy's taking Alpha. We hold all objectives. Let's keep it. We've lost Alpha. Under fire, UAV active.
Woo!
The mission's complete.
Good times,
Good
y'all.
work.
Thanks, man. I'm trying to learn. I'm definitely better than I was last year. I've been playing for about 2 years now. Feel free to add me up. See you around. Bye. Rock on, friends. Good times, good times. All right, we didn't even get one unlocked, but that's fine. And we're not going to jump into another thing. We did just do a weekly challenge, so that's cool. So, friends, this is just part of the daily login. We logged in, checked out, make sure I was up to date, knew what's going on. I am going to go ahead and call this session complete, even though there's other games that I could be doing a little daily login thing for. But I'm getting a rumbly in my tumbly, and it's time to have me some, believe it or not, breakfast. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm about to have breakfast. I slept in real good after. Before my sibling came out to visit this weekend, I've been dealing with lots of insomnia, so my sleep schedule was all out of whack. And so, anyways, long story short, this stream is for the moment ending. But like I said, we'll be back with more. Please do come on by to the link above, or right there. Let me drop it in chat for anybody who wants to click on it. Solo.to/Mr. Zeppo. A collection of all my different content creation projects, each of which are eventually going to be seamlessly integrated to my daily live stream schedule. So stay tuned, as we'll be doing fun things like actually drawing characters from the book series live on the stream as an art project, or working on a chapter from the book series live on the stream as a sort of collaborative writing experiment. So if you appreciate the intersection of themes, like what JS from YouTube was talking about in our chat, perception and transcendentalism and all that, and how I'm finding a way to relate it to esports, video game playing, and social political commentary about the craziness in our world today, please do smash the follow button and join us for more of the craziness. The more there are people participating, and I welcome people of all types, of all varieties. The rule is we're here to get along, folks. So I'm open-ended, but I know I'm no noob to the internet, okay, friends? Like I've said, I've been having conversations online with people of every kind you can imagine since before most of you all were born, right? Like, whoever we were just chatting with, that person was clearly under the recommended age for the video game that we were just playing. And I'm not judging that. I will say that's a parenting issue, and there's nothing the industry can do besides provide parents with the tools to be like, maybe I shouldn't teach my kid this game. But like he was pointing out, he's pretty good at the game because he started young and has been playing for several years. More years than I've been playing, and I'm almost in my, like, I don't even want to date myself. I do not want to expose my age limit. But anyways, so yeah. Each of the games represents a little aspect of the fan fiction ingredients, and slowly but surely we'll be merging and combining all the different aspects of the thing into one cohesive online collaboration experiment, which I humbly invite you to participate in. Until next time, friends, go be good human beings to each other out there in the real world and in the game lobbies. There's no need to be toxic bullies to each other because we're all here to have fun. And also to maybe help fix the world because it's a mess. Okay, peace out. I'll be back soon.